Falcon fans, boy, do we have a banger for you today. Tune in here for this fucking awesome live content.
Let's get it.
Falcon fans, what's good, brother? What's good? We got a banger for y'all today. Got a special guest coming in today to stop by. It's been an awesome little weekend, short little week so far. We ready to talk some Falcon, Phillip?
Let's go, baby.
How's your short week been? What'd you do this Monday and Tuesday?
Monday didn't do too much. But today, Tuesday, we had a little Taco Tuesday here at the house.
Taco Tuesday is
you already know the vibes.
Taco Tuesday, that's what's up. Special guest has arrived. Before we get to the special guest, I want to say if you are in this chat right here, drop a number 1 in the chat for the free giveaway. If you want to be registered for the free giveaway, drop a 1 in the chat. Make sure you're subscribed. That's all you have to do. Free merch. You get the draft day hat or either the bucket hat like Phillip's got on. And we're going to do a little try to get some signatures for you at a training camp. So stay tuned for that. Drop a 1 in the chat. Let's see here. Phillip, you ready to invite the man himself, the Falconator, on to the Dirty Fanatics United?
Invite the man. Let's get him in here.
Our very first special guest is here, people. He is in the building. The Falconator. What's good, brother? What's good?
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Another day to chat some Falcon football, brother. How you been?
Same. Got called into work, so I'm at work tonight, but it's all good. So I'm 911 dispatcher. I just forwarded all the calls to voicemail, so we're good.
Well, we appreciate you stopping by and short notice anyway. It was
no worries.
Over the weekend we chatted about it, and the Falconator was cool with it. Vinny, won't you fill us in on who you are, what you are as a fan, and what started this fandom as a Falcon fan?
Who am I? Well, I'm Vinny Dorsey, originally from New York, and moved to North Carolina in '86. And at that time, really wasn't into football a whole lot. I was just kind of into baseball and hockey. So I didn't really have a football team. And when I came to North Carolina, they didn't really have a football team either. So once I got into football, 88, 89, I guess, is when I started playing football in school. It was either the Falcons or the Redskins because the Panthers weren't in existence. So picked the Falcons and, went with the flair and Deion Sanders, Andre Rison, Jerry Glanville hanging out in the cowboy hat and the fur coat, So went with the flair. And all the celebs on the sidelines caught my attention. MC Hammer hanging out all the time, Evander Holyfield. So I went with them and just never turned back. The Panthers came into town. A lot of people jumped ship and went with the home team and never turned back, never looked back, and just stuck with them through and through. So,
well, we are definitely glad that you decided to take as a Falcon, and definitely not a penalty. So props to that.
Right,
Phillip,
right.
Any question for Vinny, man? What do you want to know about Vinny? Right now is the time to ask.
Let's think.
I got one for you, brother. As a Falcon fan, as a person that travels to all the away games, somebody that's always on the road, somebody that's always meeting new people, what is it like, and what is the reasoning in buying away tickets and going to these away games?
Away games, it's just a different feel. There's a lot more. I don't want to say distraction at home games, but when you're at home games, it more so everybody knows everybody. It's a social gathering, and you're just hanging out, not just hanging out, but there's so many friends and just
so you're in the bins.
Right. Oh gosh, yeah. So much to do in the band. The band is so fan friendly. Most of the new stadiums are like that. And it's just, I know it's a business and they've got to make that money. But when you're at the away games, it's it's just you're there with other true diehard fans who are there for the game and not for hey, look at my new jersey, or look how good my shoes match my jersey kind of flair. People are there for the game. And also just the whole weekend, we've talked a lot about with the Rise Up tour group. When when you have those people who come together, week after week after week, and you're in those close quarters in a sense, whether it be on a bus or whether it be eating or whether it be at the hotel, you really do get that sense, that family feel. So it's just it's just it's a lot more closeness and togetherness. And then, like I said, it's just, you're the diehards who are traveling to the game. So you're really into the game and you want to just give it your all and give all those home teams, whether it be whoever it is, that you just want to give it your all and let you know that you're there representing the Falcons no matter what. So it's just, it's great.
Right. I can definitely agree. Just from my trip to New Orleans. New Orleans was actually my first away game last year. And
Wow.
man, I got to say it was a blast. And just everybody that I met through Thomas and the Rise Up tour and going to the party at Razul's, it was packed. We took over Bourbon Street. We didn't win the game, but definitely experienced to go down to Bourbon Street and see the streets flooded with Falcon fans and just hollering who, weed at. You definitely,
Right.
it's just good, fun energy to be out there, and it's always a good time. Something that I got to bring up, man, I'm gonna throw up this little quick video right here. Just see if anybody recognizes this video. If I can get it to play.
Defensive back, Alabama. 28-3, good one. We've heard that before.
It's draft day 28-3. Man, just bring me from the moment that you were told you were making the pick to the moment that you heard somebody scream 28-3 from the crowd. What was going through your mind? I mean, I know as a Falcon fanatic, I know it's a dream to even announce. It could be the 7th pick. It doesn't matter. 7th round.
Right.
It's a Falcon pick. So just break me down on how that went and what happened that day.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was totally unexpected. We've ever since the draft has started going from city to city, we started going to the draft. I never went to the one in New York just because the way it's set up, and it was in Radio City Music Hall, and it wasn't really that explosive environment that it's turned into now, that epic event. So, I went to Nashville, and actually I missed Chicago and Dallas, but went to Nashville, and then I was supposed to go to Las Vegas, but then COVID hit. And I don't know if you guys remember that, but then Goodell had it in his basement.
Right.
And I was actually one of the guys who were picked to be the fans, like in a little Zoom call like we're doing now. So we did that. Then we went to Cleveland. And when we went to Cleveland, I told myself, I said, I don't know if I was intoxicated or not, but I was just like, I'm gonna be up there on stage one day. I'm gonna make a pick. So I just kind of called it out, and so we went to Cleveland. And then the following year, I was asked to go to Vegas, and went as part of the Dirty Bird to Vegas. And Falcons actually paid my way. They flew me to Vegas, paid for the hotel. Didn't make a pick or anything, but I was in the inner circle. And so that was the first time I was in inner circle and kind of learned the ropes of that. And that was a great experience just to be there with all the other super fans and all the other NFL teams, and just network with them. And just I've made so many friends through these last couple of years of the draft. And so the following year, just last year in Kansas City, I actually was not picked to be in part of the inner circle. So we actually just went and we drove. Me and a friend of mine drove. A couple, Thomas and them flew, and we met, and we all stayed together. And we kind of knew where to stand and what to do in case they needed alternates, because they wanted to fill the seats for the cameras, make sure they were full. So me and Thomas, we got in on Friday night, and we were in the alternate seats, but we still managed to go into the inner circle part when they picked Bijan. I don't know if you saw that. but we had a lot of pictures with that. And Bijan actually took one of the belts that me and Thomas had, and he's got pictures of that.
That's nice.
So, I introduced myself. There was a new rep. Introduced myself to the new rep in Atlanta who was over the draft area, and just told her, let her know who I was, and just I let her know if there's anything I can do to help, or there's any empty seats for tomorrow or Saturday, for Friday or Saturday, just give me a call. So we exchanged information. So Friday night came, it was the same thing. Like I said, we weren't in the inner circle, but we still waited around in the area and got in once again. And because they just look for the energetic fans, they look for the hype fans. They want those fans on
if you're
camera.
Vinny and you wear a tux with nothing but Falcon logo all over, you're gonna get noticed.
Exactly.
Shout out.
Right. So we did that, and while we were waiting, I received a phone call and had an Atlanta number came through, and I answered it, and it was the rep. And I thought she was calling to let me know that they had some seats up front. So I said, I'd asked her if they had seats, and she's like, "No, we don't have any seats at the moment. We're probably not going to have them tonight. Sorry." She's like, "How would you like to make a pick on Saturday morning?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Wait, what?" And she was like, "Do you want to do a pick on Saturday morning?" I was like, "You mean on stage?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, absolutely."
Yeah,
of course.
So I had no idea whether we're staying the whole draft on Saturday, because it tends to be a little slow, a little boring. And but I didn't care. Regardless, I was there. We did that. And had no idea what pick it was, had no idea what it was going to be. She just said she'd give me the information on Saturday morning. And so I got the call on Saturday, and she said it was going to be a seventh round. So, we only had 3 picks that day. We had 1 4th-round pick, and then we had two 7th-round picks. So it was a long day. Right. And I waited around, and I waited around all day pretty much. But we went to a party the night before with another group that I'm in called ESF, which is Elite Superfan Club. And that's it's just elite superfans from all around the country. So all 32 teams are represented. So you've got everybody there. And so we did that Friday night. And when I woke up, I didn't realize it, but I had lost my voice. I guess I was yelling and screaming Friday night. So that's why I sounded so scratchy. So I was trying all day to just get my voice back, but it was just up and down. You heard it in the video. So, because the video was a lot longer, that was just a little quick part of it. And actually, was televised at first, so they were actually just talking about the previous pick or whatever. And when I went out there, I kind of got the crowd pumped up a little bit, and got them all screaming. And that had caused Rich Eisen, who was hosting it. He kind of turned and looked at his monitor, and then he saw me in the flashy, huge suit, this 300-pound guy in this big, huge Falcon suit and a heavyweight title over his shoulder. So he's like, he's like, "Hey, let's see what this guy's got to say." And then they got me right there. So it was great that he saw it and he actually put it on TV. I didn't even know for about another 30 minutes that it was actually even on TV or anyone heard it, because they had taken our phones. When you go to the back, they take your phone. I guess so you can't take pictures of draft boards or anything like that, or call people and give insider information about picks, because a lot of the picks, they're so behind. They had 5 or 6 picks ahead. But went out there, and I was simply just going to go out there, do the pick. And, they had told us, that's what they told us to do. They said, "I want you to go out there, read the card, and then come back." And, about 80% of the people listen to that, So I'm like, I'm going to say something. So I went out there and thanked the front office for doing such a great job in the off season, and said the pick. And I was just going to raise up the belt and just yell "Rise Up." Or I wanted to say ATL Ho, but I was like, I don't know if I should do that. So I was just going to change it to "Rise Up." So, but yeah, as I said it, I don't know. On Saturdays, a little bit different. It's a little less organized. Thursday and Friday, each team is in their own pod. So Saturday was more of a free for all. They just let people sit wherever they wanted to. So it didn't come from a certain pod section, so you couldn't tell which fan it was. Right. And me and Rich Eisen, we had talked on his show, and he was assuming he was a Patriot fan, but I'm assuming he was a Saint fan, because that's all they just love to say that.
Right.
So somebody had said it right before I was getting ready to lift up the belt, and I mean, it just the clapback, I wasn't thinking, forgot where I was, forgot there was 5 million people watching at the time, and and I just pointed it out. I'm like, yeah, good one. I mean, like we've heard that for 6 years. I mean, come on, guy, really.
Ain't nothing
So
to us no
and
more.
yeah, so it was just I think it was more so it caught the announcers off guard so much that they just their laughter kind of made the video, and I did kind of strut off stage like I told people looked like a Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost when she was strutting down the street when she had to give the check to the nuns. And she was all mad.
Strutting off the
But
stage.
yeah, but it was good. It was good fun, and yeah, since then, that first month was crazy.
Right.
Got interviews with like 92.9 Atlanta station and several
The Rick Eisen, man, the Rick Eisen show, that was unbelievable to me. That's huge, bro. I mean, the whole world seen you, and it put a print on who the Falcon fans are, and pretty much right now you're the face of a Falcon fan. You know what I mean? So it's
for sure.
definitely cool.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely cool.
Yeah, because he had talked about it that Monday on the show, and then he actually then 2 weeks later or so, Terry Fontenot was on the show, and he talked about it with him.
Yep.
And then Terry was urging him to get me on the show, and then we had gotten on the show the very next day and talked about it. So yeah, so he was a huge fan of the whole ordeal, and I kind of give him props for kind of making it happen, but it's been crazy. So the Falcons have reached out to me about some upcoming things this season. I haven't really put in public yet, just kind of going to wait till it happens or wait till it's close. But of course, but they were really thankful about it. So we talked about it on First Look, and the Playmaker Picnic. Terry and Coach Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith came. Me and Terry, we've known each other for about the 3 years he's been here, 2.5, 3 years he's been here. So we've talked a lot, and so it wasn't as big of a deal. But like when Arthur Smith came and actually called me by name and talked to me by name, and that was really cool. So that was really cool. But they were real appreciative of me standing up for the team, and received a letter from Arthur Blank as well, and he was real appreciative. He apologized to us as fans for not putting out the caliber of the team that's expected from the Falcon fans, and we're going to do better. And that's where some other stuff comes in too. So, but we'll release that as needed. So, but it's been fun. So they've been really receptive to it. And at first, I thought they were just going to be like, "Why do we let this guy on the stage?" But it went totally different. So that's good. So
nice.
That's cool.
I'm definitely, as a fan, I'm glad that you got the opportunity to do that, and like I said, make that print on the Falcon franchise. Enough about the draft night. I'm ready to talk some Falcon football. Mr. Falconator, I asked if you could give us your favorite off-season signing and possibly a free agency or a draft pick. Just your thoughts on that and who you had in mind.
I guess as far as free agency, I mean, we've done great all across the board. I know that's a generic answer, but I mean, this really is, in my opinion, Terry's team now. Where pretty much everybody's gone. Grady's still there, thank goodness. But everybody that Dimitrov damned us with is just, the cap hell and all that. It's all gone. So it's pretty much it's him and Arthur Smith's, Coach Smith's team. So it's really time for them to show what they're going to do and what they, and I think Terry's done a great job with what we had. We finally had money to spend in, the last 5, 6, 7 years, and to bring in the pieces that we needed. I think defense, with Bates and Campbell, we definitely needed those slots.
Yes, huge signings.
Finally going to have some pass rushing, and they talked just today. AJ Terrell was picked at number 10, the 10th cornerback. But I mean, now that we've got a pass rush, I mean, those quarterbacks are not going to have 5, 6, 7 seconds to pick and choose who they're going to throw to. So he's going to be able, to help with that, and I think he's going to prove to everybody that he's more worthy of a number 10. But yeah, mostly just the way our defense came in. Then we had some huge re-signings on offense. McGarry was a huge re-sign that we really needed on the line.
That was amazing,
and for sure. So I mean, I just think that we've got a lot of pieces. I like the Bijan pick. I was kind of, I didn't know.
I was right there with you. I was there with you. I was
so it was, I think it's going to be great now that you've kind of pulled away. And, of course, everyone was talking about Carter. And I mean, Carter's a great player. And a lot of people, did they want Carter because he was a great player, or did they want Carter because he went to Georgia? So, but with Bijan in the backfield now and Algier, and then Cordero, you can put him back in special teams. You can use him in a slot. You can use him so many places.
You talk about
it's really going to take.
You could just off of that, you could put Cordell, Algier, Robinson, and Drake all on the field at the same time. So yeah, you're definitely right. Targets are
right, and they catch. A lot of people are talking about our receivers. They were talking about it just the other night on One Time on the Fan.
Yep.
They're talking about you look at those receivers, and it's nothing that just pops out. There's no huge star receivers. But you've got the Bijan to put in the receiver slot. You've got the Kyle Pitts to put in the receiver slot. You've got the Patterson to put in the receiver slot. So you've got all these other weapons that can be used in that receiver spot. So I mean, for years and years and years, New England didn't have star. They didn't have star caliber receivers. So you just have and we don't know what Ritter's going to do. I mean, he's been in there for 4 games. And I don't even really count the Tampa Bay game because I mean he was playing against practice squad.
Right.
I know people still want to give him credit for beating Tom Brady, but I mean we'll take that where we get it. So, so it's gonna happen, and that's our quarterback, and we just got to trust him. We got to go with him. We got to trust our coaches, and we'll just see where it goes.
Facts. Real quick, if you're watching the live or you're in the chat, drop a 1 in the chat if you want to be entered in the live raffle to give away a free hat or a free bucket hat with signatures. Drop a 1, greatly appreciated. I'm gonna throw up a real quick ad here by our sponsor W. Just be 1 second.
Sure,
stay tuned. Shout out to W for the sponsor. If you do happen to buy a tub of W, use the discount code DirtyBirds, all caps with an S. Helps you and helps the stream. It's greatly appreciated. Got a couple of ones here in the chat. Shout out to my boy Lee. Marcus is in the building. Back to our question about free agency. I'll just give you one. Calais Campbell, man, that was a huge signing. Yeah. It was that free agency piece. It was that depth piece for the veteran. He's a 36-year-old. He's 6'8", 1 sack away from 100. He did 5.5 last year with 16 solo and 18 assists. So the guy's still a dog. You pair that along with a Grady Jarrett, a Bud Dupree, and an AK that really is expected to have a big flourish in season 2. Philip, your thoughts on that, and who's your favorite free agency signing?
My favorite would most likely be I like the Jesse Bates signing with free agency. Last year he had solo 38 tackles, 4 interceptions, and then certain things like that, which what we really didn't have much of last season. So I feel like that's going to help in the backfield and secondary a whole lot more than what we had going for us. So I feel like it's just going to bring a whole lot more energy for us, not only for the front, but like secondary and everything else.
Right, and Jesse Bates is that veteran guy as well that's been in the NFL for a while that can help a D. Alford, a young guy like D. Alford's fighting for the nickel spot. Been hearing a lot about
Clark.
D. So shout out to D. Falconator, I got another question for you pertaining to the Falcons. If you were GM for a day to let's say if you were GM this month to get this Falcon team ready for the season, what's your final move that you think solidifies the Super Bowl or the deep playoff run that all the Falcon fans want?
Well, I mean, we kind of talked about it, and I mean, I don't want to contradict myself, but I mean, if we had that one huge, solid number 1/number 2 receiver, I think that would alleviate some of the stress that a lot of fans have. I'm good with what we have. Like I said, I mean, we don't have the greatest receivers on paper. But who knows what they're going to do? They can light it up, and then we've got all those other players in the backfield who can move up to the slot. But I think if we had that, I mean, you've got a few guys out there. If I was a GM with only what we had left, what do we have left? Like $10 million, I think. So something like that.
8 to 10,
but yeah, I think that's what as far as what the fans want, they definitely want a big name receiver. We got Drake London, but he's still unproven. He's doing great, but of course he's his second year out, so he's still got a lot to prove.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if we had that, I don't know, maybe I don't even want to just who's out there, the Hopkins name or something like that. I think fans would be a little more, Landry or Hopkins. Then I think they'd be a little bit more
confident,
less stressful, less stressed. So,
I'll go across the other side of the football, and I'll just say I feel like the weakest link, man, is our middle linebacker. I feel like that's a spot on our defense. That's a big question mark. If I had to say going into the season, any mark that I was questionable about would be linebackers, just because you got a young Caden Ellis, a young Torrey Anderson that's almost there, just a step behind last year in the pass coverage. So to see Troy step up tremendously, he was a later draft pick anyway from Montana State, so that would be huge to get a flourish guy to him. Phillip, your thoughts, and what would you do if you were GM?
I think I'm going to flip back onto the wide receiver type thing. It just I feel like if we had somebody like the Hopkins or Landry, it'd make us bigger. I'm confident in like what we got because I know what these guys can do because I've seen them on previous teams. But say we had that Landry, that Hopkins, or whatever big name out there, it would give us a lot of fans more confidence and like, hey, we can do it. They a little bit say, hey, they can go out there and do it without no doubt in their voice, or it's just I feel like it would just give us a little bit more hope.
I think the biggest thing. I was just gonna say the biggest thing we have right now. I think we've got a great team. I mean, I know we do.
Exactly.
But it's just the unprovenness or the uncertainty of some fans, because we haven't seen what they can do, but we know what they can do. So they're unproven. It's a super young team. I mean, we've got a young core, which is great. And we stay healthy. And I mean, the way the NFC South has kind of just turned around, I mean, we can be on top of that for a very long time. So
very exciting.
I think it's great the direction we're going with the young guys and not spilling all this money on some guys who only have 1 or 2 years left. And so like I said, the front office is doing a great job. So
Yeah, definitely shout out to Terry and Smith. They've done everything that I pretty much wanted them to cover in free agency with the money that we got. This is really the first year that I could feel like we're actually building a team since 2016.
2016.
That year 2016, it just felt like the team was right. Week one, we started off slow, but I expect this year, week one, we need to come out. We need to take the W. We got to beat the Pansies at home, start the season off right in the right track.
Got to bring the energy.
Speaking of the stadium, what is your thoughts on empty seats and people, like we said, just hanging out and not really there for the game, but for the fashion?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to a lot of stadiums, and most of the newer stadiums are kind of like ours with as far as so fan friendly. There's so much to do. There's so many places to watch the game. But you know what? The difference is and when it's game time, they're in their seats. There's a lot to do in Dallas, but those Dallas fans, they're in their seats. There's a lot to do in LA, but they're in their seats. So it's just, I think the big thing with our stadium is what they've designed with the club level, the lower level clubs on the side, on the side, the whole sideline, basically. So you've been downstairs, you've been down to the Mercedes-Benz Lounge, Cherokee Lounge. I mean, and they're beautiful. It's comfortable. There's a lot of place. I mean, it's just, and then you've got access to the field right there.
The drinks are so much accessible down there.
You can't see anything when you stand there, but yeah, I mean, like I said, you can't see anything when you stand there, but people want to be there just for that prestige. So, and it's great that they've got that opportunity. However, when the camera pans and there's nobody in those seats, the stadium's sold out.
Yeah.
But there's nobody in the seats because they're watching it downstairs. They're watching it underneath the steps. They're watching it on the field. They're watching it at the 27 bars in the concourses on TV. So, it does turn into a huge social hour. So I kind of do miss the dome for that particular reason, just because you pretty much you watch the game in your seat. You know, and as much as I hate going down, you talked about as much as I hate going down to New Orleans, that's the only place you can watch it. There are no TVs anywhere in New Orleans.
None.
It's a dump. If you want to watch the game, you're going to watch the game in your seat. You can't even watch the game when you're in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So you got to hurry up and go to the bathroom and come sit back down, and you're going to miss it. So there's no TVs anywhere. But so you're watching it at your seat, or you're just not watching it. And I understand, like I said, I understand it's a business, and they're making money, but I wish we could get fans in the seats. I think we can. I think we will. We haven't really. 2016 was the last. We were still in the Dome, so that was our last year in the Dome. So we've never really. Mercedes-Benz Stadium has never really experienced this type of atmosphere that we're hoping for, that we're counting on, with a great team and with wins. So I'm hoping that when we do win, that all the people who are wandering around sitting at the bar, or or just checking each other's Jordans out, I hope they do come and sit down and watch the game in their seats and just get loud. We got to get loud. We just have to get loud. When we're at so many home games that we're at, they feel like away games, and I know teams travel well, but the Steelers come into town, or sometimes when the Saints come into town, and you got the Eagles, and you've got teams that travel well,
Vikings,
but just to be overloaded, and all these people who are buying these tickets just for investment opportunities, just to sell, to make an extra $200 or $300. Really, come on. Yeah. It's like, I'm a sneakerhead, so I try to get a lot. Sometimes when I miss out on some shoes, and you got these guys buckling up on all these shoes to make an extra $50. Come on, $50, really? So just share the wealth. So you've got that. You've got all these people who, they'll spend $5,000 on club level seats so they can sell them at a profit and make, $15,000, make an extra. That's $10,000 is a lot of money. No, don't get me wrong. But, you're selling them to Steeler fans. You're selling them to Cowboy fans. You're selling them to Saint fans. So that's the difference. So you change you just change the dynamics of home field advantage completely, just so you can earn $1.
Head over here to the comment section here for a second. My boy Marcus Boyd, man. Shout out to Marcus Boyd. He's been in our comment section heavy here the past few weeks, even been going back, checking our old lives out. So shout out Marcus. He says we definitely need to capitalize on the home game, starting off 2-0 against the Kitty Cats and Packers. It'll be nice to head into Motor City 2-0. You're exactly right. And then you still have another tough battle after that when you go to London against the Jaguars. So Philip, your thoughts on just the stadium being empty and people not being in their seats, and us as a fan base being loud and being behind this team?
So my main thing is, when I do go to, say, the bathroom or something, a lot of people, they're not in their seats. They're complaining about what our team's got going on or what they're not doing right. I get it. We haven't been the best in the past couple of years, but we're fans. We got to sit there and stick through them through and through. That's what gets them hyped up from our energy. That's what gets them into the game. So if you want them to play to a certain accountability, we got to give them the same type of energy.
Very true.
I feel like that's our main thing as fans, because I feel like a lot of our fans are there, and then half of them are just not into it like they once was. To me, that's just common fans.
Definitely a different atmosphere, like Vinny said, and the Georgia Dome was that spot, and that's why it was the Georgia Dome. It was the Falcons' nest for a while, and RIP to the Georgia Dome. One more question here for you, Vinny, before we turn you loose. I know you're a busy guy.
You're fine.
Who do you think will lead this team in sacks this season? With all the new signings, all the new faces, there's a handful of guys to choose from. Who's your favorite, and what do you expect out of them this year?
My favorite, I know there's just a lot of guys that got so much to prove, we've got a couple guys on some short-term deals. So they're there to prove either to Coach Smith or to any of the other 31 coaches in the NFL for when their time runs out. I really think Campbell's going to do a lot. But also I kind of hope, just because he's been with us through thick and thin, I really hope that having him and a couple others that Grady can really shine and just get where he's at. So, and then also get that one sack that they took away from him last year against Brady. So he got to get that back. So, but for sure, no, I would really like to see Grady Jarrett just go in there and just destroy, because
Right,
you know he's not going to get double teamed or triple teamed every single, you know, there's going to be, so he's going to have more access, and he's been with us, you know, he stayed true with us, you know, through thick and thin, and I just, as from a I can't think of the word right now, but just I would just like to see him do it, because he you know he doesn't have that much time left, but but he's been there, and I would just really like to have him just have that one great. He's had a lot of great seasons, but that great season, so for sure.
I'd have to agree with you, man. Grady's top of my list. Probably my all-time favorite Falcon right now on the team, Grady Jarrett. Big fan of Grady. I would have to say, just to give a different name, I'd throw out Caden Ellis. He's due for a breakout year, coming off last year with a 7 sacks. So Caden Ellis is a name to watch out for. Philip, we talked about this the other day, but just give me a guy.
I previously from the last show, I did say Arnold Ebiketie, you know, but thinking about it, you know, I do hope for Grady Jarrett to have that great successful year, like we said. Right. I just want him to have that break, because he's, man, it's been a long overdue. You know, man, my man needs it. He deserves it.
Benny, I've took the time to search your social media pages. I hope I got all your @s there on that link. If I don't, fill these people on where they can find you and what you got going on over there.
Hit that man with a follow.
No, I think that yeah, that looks good. That's it. I'm kind of new to the whole social media thing. I've got some people who you know, have gotten me on it. You know, before I was just one of those old guys on Facebook, so I don't have a whole lot going on just yet on Twitter and TikTok and all that. But there are some things in the works. So I've been staying up late nights learning how to transition and splice these videos out all these young little 6 and 7 year olds know how to do that I can't do. But so more is going to come through the season and through preseason. And then also we're getting ready, me and the guys getting ready to work on, not a podcaster per se, but we're going to work on a YouTube channel come post game after the games, and have like a little just kind of little comical discussion about what happened. And so that's going to be kind of in the works. So once all that stuff gets up, the YouTube and everything, it'll be on TikTok as well. But so yeah, you guys follow me on those. It's not that exciting right now, but it's going to be, and we're gonna do it. So I'm just excited for the season, and I'm excited for training camp. I'm ready for that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Y'all heard the man. You see his you see his handles. If you're on social, if you're watching this live right now, go hit the like, go hit the follow, subscribe. Falconator, man, I appreciate you coming through and just giving us your knowledge on the game and what started your fandom, and had to get you on after what happened at the draft. I already knew you as a Falcon fan. I seen you at the games 28 years, but the NFL draft definitely finalized who you were as a fan. So I want to thank you for coming on Dirty Fanatics. You're actually our very first special guest, so it means a lot that you came on and gave us the time. Philip, any words for Vinny before we let him go?
Appreciate you coming, man. It was nice hearing your point of views and everything. Just shout out to you for, you know, just coming, because, you know, with you busy and everything. So that's
appreciate it, guys. Appreciate y'all letting me be your first special guest. And
yes, sir.
You know, I appreciate that. You guys are doing big things. I heard. I think you guys, did you hit the 150 yet?
We're 9 away, man. Close. 9 away. So
okay.
Good deal. If you're checking us out and you ain't hit that sub, go ahead and do so. Help us get 150. We've grown tremendously in a week. I think we've got 10 subscribers in the past 2 days. So
2 days.
Shout out to everybody that gave us a shout out. And this show here is definitely going to help, Benny. So you've done your part, and we definitely appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks at training camp. Appreciate everything.
Yes, sir. Yes,
good luck with everything.
Phillip.
All right. Peace. Rise up.
Yes, sir.
Rise up, baby.
A-Town down. Philip, man, we got the first episode with our special guest in the books. Thanks to everybody that tuned in and checked us out and just came to talk with the Falconator and everything that we had going on. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Like I said, if you want to enter the free raffle, it's free, people. Drop a 1. I see there's 5 in the chat right now watching. Drop a comment. Hit the 1. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ernest Hall for checking in. Ernest Hall, this is a guy that I've seen Ernest Hall from one time for the fan. He's been a Falcon fan for years. So appreciate you coming on over to our channel and checking us out. We appreciate it. Marcus Boyd, man, like I said again, appreciate you showing all us the love. Marcus Boyd is actually part of the Rise Up tour, so shout out to him for that. Philip, any last words before we close this thing out?
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to every single buddy in this chat right now, dropping you ones. I see it right here. Viewing, etc., or whether you watching afterwards, shout out to you. Tell your friends, tell your mama. Yeah, it don't matter. Just let them know. Drop a follow and then tell them about the giveaway.
Thanks.
Shout out this opportunity. Shout out to God. Thank God for this opportunity and rise up, baby. Rise up.
You heard it. Hey, man, this is your boys Chase and Phillip with Dirty Fanatics United with another banger. This was, I believe, episode 6. So climbing the ladder, man. Climbing the ladder. Slowly but surely climbing the ladder. Like I said, we was at 127 subscribers. It seems like just yesterday. Now we're at 141. So much love. Greatly appreciated. That's about all I got for y'all today. This is your boy Chase. A-Town down.